Hello, welcome to my channel. Most of my videos on here are kind of just like showing my weekly exercise routine, running and strength training. This video is a bit different. This is honestly mainly a video just for like some friends and family that I have that are going trekking soon and have just asked me to basically help them get a bit stronger and ready for that. They're trekking to base camp Mount Everest, and then a couple people are doing the Everest half marathon or the full marathon. I'm not going, I just can't make it work with life this time around. But I have hiked or trekked to Namche Bazaar maybe like 10 years ago, so I have like a little bit of experience there, but I think my friends have just asked me because I'm fitter than them, which is not an insult, it's just a fact. So I've kind of just put together some exercises just to help them get a bit stronger. If you are like an experienced trekker or like you're planning to do a really intense trip and you want to get really fit and strong for it, this probably is not like going to be super helpful, because the routine I'm kind of giving my friends is just keeping in mind that they don't have a whole lot of time to prepare. So the main thing that they'll be doing is like just lots of walking and just general cardio fitness, and lots of stairs. If you are like planning to do a hike, I would recommend that. Some hikes I think can be kind of almost flat, but this is a trek that will obviously have quite a bit of incline. Also, if this video cuts off, it's because someone's come in the gym and I don't want to film when anyone's in here. So if it cuts, I'm just gonna, if anyone comes in, I'm just gonna end it quickly. So the exercises they will be doing is just lots of cardio. So if you can just find stairs anywhere near you, definitely do that. If like you have an apartment building, or like if your work building has fire stairs that are quite decent, then I'd recommend doing that. That's what they will be doing. But I've just kind of given these exercises as well. I've tried to make things that can mostly be used with like just a bench and dumbbells, so no like other big machines or anything. And honestly, some of them you could do without even dumbbells. You could just do at home with like something like a heavy water bottle, depending what your strength level is. I recommended that they do one leg day and one core day in week A, and then one leg day and one upper body day in week B, and then just alternate that. However, I don't think they want to go to the gym twice a week. So this is kind of just, this plan is meant to be if you only really have time to go to the gym once a week. So we're going to do like 3 lower body things, 2 upper body things, and a core routine. And then, that's the whole workout, sorry. And then in the next week, the same categories, but just different movements. So I've got 6 leg exercises, 2 upper body ones, and then just a quick ab workout that can take it takes me normally like 10 minutes, no more than that. So you really can do this if you set aside at least an hour for the gym, half an hour on legs, 15 minutes upper body, 15 minutes on core. I think that is a good system. Okay, cool. I'm just going to put on the list on screen now, actually, everything that I'll be going through, just so if you have no interest in learning how to do it, you can just skip around. The first thing we're going to do is Bulgarian split squat. Basically, anytime you're doing any like walking or running thing, I think it's good to do single leg workouts. So I've got regular squats on my list as well, but single leg workouts are just always really good if you're walking or running, because especially when you're running, you're always, landing on one foot. And I think people say it's like with like 3 to 5 times your body weight. My friends will be walking while they're hiking, but it's still good to do these. Now this is not ideal, just because I've got this squishy floor here. So maybe my form won't be perfect, but it'll be good enough. There's 2 ways you can kind of do these. I'll start with the general form. Basically just start with your ankle kind of on the edge, and then put your other leg out straight, and then stand up, and then just squat down. And make sure your knee doesn't pass over the front of your toe. Now someone told me if you kind of lean forward more, I think it engages more of your thigh. If you lean back, it engages more of your glute, or maybe the other way around. I don't really know, but it can be hard to balance, so just do whatever way feels more comfortable. Now, for my friends that are doing this, you might want to just start with no weight, see how you go with that. Or, yeah, the two kind of ways you can do it. Either have two small weights. Oh my God, there's a gap in the thing here now. Two small weights and just, down like that. Or you can do one bigger weight. I normally do it with just one bigger weight, but I don't think that's necessarily a better or worse way to do it. That's just what I do. I normally do this at the moment with like maybe 12 or 14 kilos. I'm just using a smaller one because I'm just demonstrating, and this might be more close to what my friends I would recommend you do. Our alternate arm to leg that's bending, and then just straight down like that. So yeah, I don't know. Try both of them, see what feels more comfortable. Yeah. You can do 2 or 3 sets of 10 or whatever you feel. I normally do, depending if I'm going heavier or not. If I'm like pushing my weight up, then I'll do maybe 6 reps. If I'm doing a weight that I'm comfortable with, maybe 10. If I'm going a little bit lighter than normal, then 12. I would do 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps. If you don't want to do 3 sets, then do at least 2, just so you're targeting that muscle for a longer period of time. Okay, the next thing is just regular squats. I would normally use a barbell, but I'm trying to make this video as, I guess, accessible as possible. So if you don't have a barbell, you can just get your dumbbell, just hold it like that, and just squat. Again, like, you don't want your knee going over the top of your foot. You want it almost, and you can do it near a seat so you get an idea of the form, but almost like, you know, you're sitting down. And your feet, I think, are about shoulder width apart. So the next one is just lunges. I think they're mostly self-explanatory. I usually do reverse lunges. You can do walking lunges if you want, like if you want to grab 2 dumbbells and just walk and do them. I'm usually using a barbell, so I'll just do reverse ones, and you can just do it in place. But I'll just show you from the side. So again, you don't want your knee to be going over your toe. Now when I do them, I'm kind of like mentally visualizing most of the strength is in this front leg, and the back one's just kind of falling back to stabilize you. You don't have to take that big of a step back. You can do it like that. If you have access to a barbell, you can use that. Otherwise, just grab 2 small dumbbells, just whatever you feel capable of doing. And you can just do like 10 on each side. And keep your chest and back mostly up. You can lean forward a little bit if you need to stabilize. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is single leg RDLs. So a regular RDL, which I think is Romanian or Russian deadlift, I would normally use a barbell. And you just kind of have your knees slightly bent, your chest and back, you know, up. And then you don't really want to bend your knees too much more. And you just kind of hinge back and imagine the barbell or dumbbell that you're holding kind of rolling down the front of your legs. Like that. And just keep your head and eyesight in line with your back. Okay, for a single leg RDL, these are kind of difficult to balance. So just do your best, I guess. You can use 2 small dumbbells, or you can just use 1 in one hand. If you want to use 2, just go on, oh my gosh, 1 leg, and then the same movement. Just kind of slide back. Try and keep your leg straight if you can, and just kind of use your back leg just to balance when you need. And then if you wanted to use 1 single heavier dumbbell, just have it in the alternate hand. Same thing. Okay, I'm alone in the gym again. I'm just gonna film for however long I can. The next lower body exercise I have is hip thrusts. So you can use a bench like this, or you can use, I guess, any kind of thing that you can, this is not very stable. I would recommend maybe leaning it against the wall. But just sit with your kind of shoulder blades back against any kind of box or bench. You should be able to reach just your heels with your hands, and then go up. So rest your shoulder blades back up, and then thrust up like that. 2. I'm kind of scared of this bench moving, so I'm not really moving too intensely, I guess. I normally use a barbell with 50 to 60 kilos, I think. If you're just kind of starting out doing these, I started out just using a dumbbell. They do kind of hurt your hip bones. So if you have you can even just put your gym towel around it, just to make that a bit less painful there. Okay. It's also kind of hard to balance sometimes. Okay. Cool. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is dumbbell step up. What I just said, I don't really trust this bench. I don't know. Just use whatever you can. It's literally just what it sounds like. Okay, well, without dumbbells. Just oh, okay, that's all right. Do 10 on each side. I have an old kind of issue with this leg. I have peripheral neuropathy and nerve damage in this leg, so I often do cable step-ups, which is just when you have a machine in front of you and there's a cable there that you can pull. Same idea though, but my left leg's always just a lot harder to do. For my friends watching this, that won't be the same case for you. Okay, and then if you want to add dumbbells in, just add light dumbbells. And just try to visualize pushing into the ground with the leg that's up, you're pushing down onto the bench rather than pushing up from your back leg. So it shouldn't be because that's kind of, just using my back leg to propel me up. That is now 6 lower body exercises. The upper body exercises that I've planned, I honestly, there's not a whole lot of rationale in terms of these things are specifically good for trekking or hiking. They're just kind of easy things to do that don't really require equipment besides dumbbells. So I've got 4 things. You could just do 2 one week, 2 the next week. For example, okay, so I'll start with what you can do with a flat bench. I've just got, yeah, I'll put them on screen again. I don't really know a whole lot about like the form for these ones. So I'm gonna start with chest press. The way I've kind of had someone like explain is like, if you're a woman, like imagine kind of when you're lying down, bringing it down to about your bra line, if you're not wearing a long line bra. Yeah, so, and don't have a hair claw in. So have your arms at kind of like a 90-degree angle, and then just straight up and bring them a bit together, and then down to your bra line. 2, 3, and you can just do whatever weight feels right for you. Okay, the next thing is dumbbell row, and I might just move the bench sideways. Okay, for dumbbell row, you've got 3 points of contact. So one leg just straight on the ground. One leg on the ground, your closest leg on the bench, your knee, and then just kind of like, if you're standing up straight, hinge forward to your arm reaches the bench. Okay, and then dumbbell row, you should kind of visualize like pulling your elbow back rather than like lifting with your shoulder, if that makes sense. If you can understand, like visualize and feel the difference there. It's kind of hard to explain, and I'm not a sport coach. The next thing I think I did is bicep curl. Honestly, I think like the kind of leg exercises and core workout are more important, but if you just kind of want to get strong everywhere, I guess, because you'll be swinging your arms to walk, I guess. You should obviously feel these in your bicep. I don't really know how to explain it. And then the last one is shoulder press. If you have a bench that can go fully upright, then do that. This bench only goes like, the highest is still at a bit of an angle, so you have to sit forward anyway. But just have your arms at a 90-degree angle and then just straight up. That is it for the lower body and arm things that I suggested for my friends. All that's left is just doing a core routine. This can be done in like 10 minutes. I do all these exercises once a week, and I feel like they've actually helped me get like abs, and also just helped avoiding stitches while I'm running. For a hike or trek, you're still going to be like keeping yourself upright for all day, so you don't want to have a weak core and like end up hunched over at the end of the day. So each of these things, I'll tell you how many I do or how long I do them for, but when you're just starting out doing them, like plank for example, I would probably just say start with 30 seconds. I do mine for like maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes now. So yeah, just your elbows, I guess, are kind of just below your shoulder, and your back should be straight. You don't want to be like dipping in or like really up high. I would actually probably recommend filming yourself for these just to kind of get an idea of what you look like, and just do it, I guess, for as long as you can or until your form starts to be bad. And then I do side planks, but I feel like my form is kind of bad. So I don't know if I'm going to recommend that you do them. I also hit my elbow on a railing when I was running today. So I'll try to do this side. But every time I watch them back, I feel like my form is really bad. So probably don't do what I'm doing. I think your elbow should again just be under your shoulder. And then just straight up. I don't know, if that looks okay, then do this. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Next thing I do is a hollow body hold. These are quite hard. Just start with your legs straight and then just, I don't know, lift them up. For as long as you can. When I first started doing these, I would like have my knees a bit bent because it gave me a bit more like stability, but I think that doesn't engage your core as much. So try to have your legs as straight as possible for like, you can start with 15 seconds, 20 seconds, work up. Russian twist. Okay, similar kind of position, but your legs are a bit more bent. And then if you want to do it with no weight to begin with, you can just kind of just twist to each side and just tap the side there. If you want to get like a small weight, you can hold that. Ugh. Crunches. Okay, crunches. I used to like try and do sit-ups, and I would like put my feet under something and then like just try and swing all the way up. But I felt like I couldn't really do a single sit-up without having my legs under something. And I felt like having my feet under something meant that I wasn't really doing any of the work. So instead I just switched to only doing crunches, which are much smaller. Just start like this and just kind of visualize, you know, don't try and like use heaps of momentum to get up. Just kind of visualize your abs, like your stomach, crunching in on itself to roll yourself in. At the moment I do like 40 of those, but you can start with 10, 15, 20. Ugh. Sorry, I feel like my mic is picking up so many weird noises. What's next? Leg drops. Just legs straight in the air, one down. You can lightly touch the ground. You don't really have to touch it at all if you know about where it is. And try and keep your like opposite leg straight while putting the other one down. Or keep them both straight, I guess. This actually engages like my lower stomach area in particular a lot more than it looks like it would. Okay, bicycle crunches. I'm really terrible at these, but similar to regular crunches for the top half of the movement. Think about yourself crunching in and then just, yeah, have your legs alternating. So I'm gonna start with my right elbow, left leg. In. And then the last thing, mountain climbers. I think I said this before in a video, but if you're like warming up for a run and you want to do some dynamic warm up, then fast mountain climbers, like, they're good. But if you're trying to engage your core, then you want to just do it really slow like this. Then you're not relying on any like momentum to do the movement. Just take it nice and slow. Engage your core. Your arms might be sore too. Okay, that I think is actually everything. Obviously, like, try and incorporate some stretching before and after too, or on a different day. And then besides that, I guess you guys will just be doing your general walking cardio and stair cardio, ideally. I hope this video is helpful for the 3 people it's intended for. And if anyone else finds it useful, then hope so. If you guys are like interested in more running content or more kind of chatty content like this, let me know. I'll probably just go back to like my usual marathon training, week of workouts type videos and cooking and everything. But yeah, this was kind of fun to make. It was a bit difficult just because I don't want to talk at all with anyone else in the gym. And there's always people, always like one person in the gym, which is fine. Which is obviously fine. Okay, well, subscribe if you haven't.